This is the Lexus LS, a name that once defined quiet perfection and effortless luxury. Back in 1989, the first LS 400 didn't just launch Lexus, it redefined what a luxury sedan could be. It proved that craftsmanship, refinement, and reliability could exist in one package. For decades, that formula worked. But now, in 2025, things have changed. This is the new Lexus LS 500, the latest version of a car that used to sit at the top of the brand. It should be the most advanced, most comfortable, and most exclusive Lexus money can buy. Instead, it leaves many loyal fans wondering if Lexus has lost sight of what made this car special. In today's review, we'll take an honest look at the 2025 LS 500, its strengths, its flaws, and the painful truth behind why this once iconic sedan is struggling to stay relevant. This is not a typical car review filled with specs, it's a real-world evaluation from the perspective of what the LS should represent, Lexus's commitment to excellence. When you first see it, the LS 500 still looks impressive. The design is bold, low, and confident. Its massive spindle grille dominates the front end, and the paint quality is flawless, with depth and reflection that remind you this is still a hand-finished Lexus. But beneath that surface, things begin to feel different. The LS used to be the car that set the tone for the entire Lexus lineup. In 2025, it feels like it's struggling to keep up. The styling remains elegant, yet the design language is familiar, almost too familiar, because it hasn't changed much in years. And while competitors are evolving rapidly, Lexus seems to be playing it safe. This review isn't here to bash the LS. It's here to understand what happened, why a car that once stood above the rest now feels like it's standing still. Because the Lexus LS wasn't just another luxury sedan, it was a statement. It was proof that quality and engineering could beat prestige and price. It was the quiet revolution that made German automakers rethink their standards. And for those who grew up admiring what Lexus stood for, the LS was the heart of it all. But as I spent time with the 2025 model, that sense of pride slowly turned into disappointment. Yes, it's beautifully built. Yes, it's quiet and refined. But it no longer feels like a true flagship, the car that leads the brand forward. Instead, it feels like it's been left behind, while newer Lexus SUVs have taken the spotlight. So today, we're going to break it down clearly and honestly. We'll explore what the LS 500 still does beautifully, what it no longer does well, and whether it's still worth buying in 2025. Because for a starting price of around $95,000, expectations are high. A flagship should deliver not only quality, but also innovation, comfort, and a sense of exclusivity. That's what the LS once offered effortlessly. Whether it still does is the question. This is the 2025 Lexus LS 500. Let's take a closer look and see if it still deserves its legendary badge. At first glance, the 2025 Lexus LS 500 still makes an impression. It's low, wide, and carries a quiet confidence that few cars can match. There's an undeniable presence, the kind of elegance that doesn't need to shout. But when you look closer, something becomes clear. The LS isn't leading anymore. It's holding on to an old design language that once felt bold but now feels familiar, even dated. The front end is dominated by Lexus's signature spindle grille. It's massive, sculpted, and instantly recognizable. The chrome detailing still sparkles in the light, and the precision of each line shows how much effort Lexus puts into craftsmanship. But the grille design hasn't evolved much in years. While competitors like Mercedes and BMW have shifted toward cleaner, more futuristic looks, Lexus seems stuck between tradition and modernity. The headlights are sharp and elegant, triple-beam LEDs with intricate internal detailing. They give the car a focused, almost predatory expression. But the overall shape remains similar to the outgoing models, and that's the pattern across the entire car. Walk around to the side profile, and you'll notice the LS still has beautiful proportions. The long hood, coupe-like roofline, and short rear deck give it a graceful stance. This is still a car built with classic luxury sedan proportions, not the oversized, high-riding silhouettes we see today. And for that, it deserves credit. However, while the shape is timeless, it's also predictable. Lexus hasn't taken many risks here. The body lines are clean, the panel gaps are razor thin, and the paint quality is world-class, all things Lexus does better than most. But visually, it lacks excitement. There's no sense of surprise, no new visual language that pushes the brand forward. Move to the rear, and the story continues. The taillights are sleek, with full LED elements that sweep elegantly across the trunk. The integrated chrome strip and subtle badging look tasteful, not flashy. It's all very Lexus, understated, restrained, and precise. But again, it feels familiar. In 2025, when competitors are experimenting with futuristic light bars and bold rear designs, Lexus plays it safe. Build quality, however, remains exceptional. Every panel feels solid, every door closes with that signature Lexus thud. The precision in the paint, the alignment of body panels, and the consistency of finish are second to none. This car still feels crafted, not assembled. And in a world of cost-cutting, that's something to appreciate. The LS500 rides on 20-inch wheels that balance comfort and presence. The wheel designs vary by trim, but most remain conservative. Elegant, yes, but not memorable. It's clear Lexus is prioritizing refinement over aggression. That's not necessarily bad. It's just a reminder that this car is built for calm confidence, not performance bragging rights.
Overall, the exterior of the 2025 LS500 is a story of contrast. It's beautifully made, but visually cautious. It's detailed and luxurious, but lacking innovation. It feels like Lexus is afraid to fully let go of what worked before, even though the luxury market has already moved on. The LS remains a car you respect for its craftsmanship, not one you crave for its modernity. It's elegant, but it doesn't make a statement anymore. And that's a problem for a flagship sedan, because in this segment, design isn't just about beauty, it's about identity. And right now, the LS500's identity feels uncertain. Step inside the 2025 Lexus LS500, and you're immediately reminded of what Lexus still does better than most: craftsmanship. This interior isn't built, it's crafted. Every surface, every stitch, every control has been touched by human hands. There's a sense of calm and precision that very few automakers can replicate. The materials are the first thing you notice. Soft leather stretches across the dashboard and doors. The stitching is tight and consistent. Wood veneers are real, not printed plastic. Even the metallic trim feels solid and cool to the touch. Everything gives you the sense that someone cared deeply about how it would feel, not just how it would look. Sit in the driver's seat and you understand what Lexus means by omotenashi, the Japanese philosophy of hospitality. The seat gently adjusts as you settle in. The steering wheel moves to meet you. The air vents silently adjust their flow. It feels personal, refined, and deliberate, almost like the car is quietly greeting you. The seats themselves are among the best in the business. They're deeply cushioned yet supportive, with countless adjustments, heating, cooling, and even massage functions. In the rear, the LS transforms into a true luxury experience. With the executive package, the right side passenger seat reclines like a business class chair, complete with ottoman, memory settings, and climate controls. For comfort and serenity, few sedans in the world can match it. But as perfect as the materials and comfort are, the technology tells a different story. In front of you sits a large 12.3-inch touchscreen, crisp, responsive, and finally better integrated than older Lexus systems. It now supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the interface feels much simpler to navigate. However, compared to what Mercedes, BMW, and even Genesis are offering, the system still feels dated. The graphics are clean, but not futuristic. The menus are logical, but not exciting. It's functional, just not inspiring. The digital gauge cluster is another example. It's clear and easy to read, but it hasn't evolved much since previous generations. There's no full-screen customization or dynamic themes like in modern European rivals. It feels restrained, and perhaps too much so. Then there's the head-up display, which works beautifully. It's large, bright, and projects critical information directly into your line of sight. This, combined with the car's acoustic insulation and near-silent ride, makes highway driving incredibly relaxing. It's one of the quietest cabins in the world, and that's something Lexus still dominates. The Mark Levinson sound system deserves a special mention. It's pure, balanced, and immersive, the kind of clarity that makes even compressed music sound rich. Lexus and Mark Levinson have been perfecting this partnership for years, and it shows. Where things start to fall short is innovation. There's nothing particularly new or surprising here. No massive curved display, no futuristic lighting system, no digital luxury features that redefine the experience. The LS interior is beautifully traditional, but in 2025, that's starting to feel like a limitation. It's as if Lexus is trying to preserve its identity, the handcrafted analog soul of its cars, while the rest of the world is racing toward digital transformation. And that creates tension. Some will love it for its timeless elegance. Others will see it as being out of touch. The 2025 LS 500's interior is still a masterclass in quality and comfort, but it's not a leader in technology or design innovation anymore. It's a car you admire quietly, not one that wows you with futuristic brilliance. In short, the craftsmanship is world-class, the comfort is unmatched, but the tech experience, while polished, no longer defines the segment. The LS is still a sanctuary, but the world outside has moved on faster than Lexus has. Turn the engine on and the 2025 Lexus LS 500 greets you with silence. No harsh vibration, no mechanical drama, just a calm, effortless start. It's powered by a 3.4-liter twin-turbocharged V6, producing 416 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. On paper, those numbers sound solid. In practice, they tell a more complex story. Acceleration is smooth and consistent. The 10-speed automatic transmission shifts quietly, keeping the power delivery refined and composed. In a straight line, the LS 500 can move from 0 to 60 in about 4.8 seconds. Quick for a large sedan, but not exactly thrilling. This car isn't built for adrenaline. It's built for serenity. The powertrain is refined, but not emotional. Unlike the old naturally aspirated V8s that defined the earlier LS models, the twin-turbo V6 feels clinical. It's efficient, but it lacks the deep, confident character those engines once had. You can sense the power, but you never feel it in a way that stirs emotion. For a flagship, that's a bit disappointing. Where the LS 500 redeems itself is in ride quality. The adaptive air suspension is outstanding. It absorbs imperfections effortlessly, gliding over rough surfaces with almost no vibration through the cabin. At highway speeds, the car feels weightless, stable, quiet, and unbothered by the outside world. Few vehicles deliver this level of composure. Even when switching to sport mode, the LS doesn't transform into something aggressive. The steering tightens slightly, the suspension firms up, but the personality remains calm. This car prefers smooth inputs, relaxed driving, and long distances. It's about refinement, not aggression.
The steering is precise but numb. There's accuracy, but not much feedback. You always know where the car is going, yet you don't feel connected to the road. It's engineered for stability, not emotion, and that perfectly sums up the LS 500's driving experience. Braking performance is strong, consistent, and confidence-inspiring. The pedal feels firm, and the car stops with grace. However, under hard braking, the weight of the vehicle becomes apparent. This is still a large luxury sedan, and it drives like one. Noise isolation remains one of the LS's greatest strengths. At 70 miles per hour, you can hold a conversation in whispers. Wind noise, tire noise, and engine sound are all muted to near silence. This isn't just good insulation, it's engineering perfection. Even compared to German rivals, the Lexus remains one of the quietest cars on sale today. But when it comes to driver engagement, the LS 500 doesn't deliver much excitement. There's no hybrid system that feels advanced, no electric option that pushes innovation forward, and no performance model that challenges its rivals. It feels like Lexus chose to stay safe rather than experiment. Fuel economy is respectable for its size, around 22 miles per gallon combined, but it's not a selling point. The LS was never about efficiency, it was about effortlessness, and in that sense, it still succeeds. Every journey feels easy, controlled, and predictable. Still, as competitors move toward electric or high-tech hybrid flagships, the LS 500's approach feels dated. There's elegance in its simplicity, but also risk, because the luxury market now values innovation as much as comfort. To sum it up, the LS 500 drives like a true Lexus, quiet, stable, and deeply refined, but it no longer excites. It doesn't make your heart race, it simply helps you forget the world outside. That might be exactly what some owners want, but for others, it's proof that Lexus has lost a bit of its spark. After spending time with the 2025 Lexus LS 500, one thing becomes clear. This car is still built with heart. It carries the DNA that made Lexus famous: precision, reliability, and craftsmanship. But it also reveals a truth the brand may not want to admit. The luxury world has moved forward, and the LS 500 is struggling to keep up. Let's start with what it still does beautifully. The build quality is exceptional. Every surface, every seam, every switch feels over-engineered. The cabin remains one of the quietest in the world. The materials are premium, the ride is smooth, and the comfort is unmatched. It's the kind of car you can drive for hours and step out feeling refreshed. In those moments, the LS 500 still feels like a flagship. The reliability and ownership experience also remain strong points. Lexus has one of the best reputations for long-term dependability, and the LS continues that tradition. It's the luxury sedan you can actually own without fear. No constant repairs, no unreliable systems, no drama. For many buyers, that peace of mind still matters more than cutting-edge technology. But when we look at the bigger picture, the competition, the market, and the direction of modern luxury, the LS 500 starts to lose ground. Rivals like the Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series, and even the Genesis G90 have all evolved dramatically. They offer advanced driver assistance systems, next-generation hybrid and electric powertrains, and cabin technology that feels futuristic. In comparison, the LS 500 feels restrained. Timeless, yes, but also conservative to a fault. This isn't a bad car. Far from it. It's one of the most serene, comfortable, and beautifully finished sedans you can buy. But it's not a car that stirs emotion or pushes innovation. It's a car that reminds you of what Lexus used to be, not what it could become. Pricing is another factor. With a starting price around $95,000 and well over $110,000 for higher trims, the LS sits in a competitive space. At that level, buyers expect something extraordinary, either in performance, technology, or design. The LS delivers in craftsmanship, but not in excitement. It's a car that appeals to your mind, not your heart. So, who should buy the 2025 Lexus LS 500? If you value comfort over excitement, refinement over flash, and reliability over constant updates, this car makes sense. It's perfect for those who want a true luxury experience without the stress of complexity. It's a car you'll enjoy quietly, not one you'll show off. But if you're looking for innovation, cutting-edge design, or emotional performance, the LS won't satisfy that craving. It feels safe, predictable, and reserved. Words that don't belong next to a flagship. The sad truth is that the LS no longer defines the Lexus brand. The SUVs do. The RX, the LX, and even the new TX have taken center stage. The LS has become more of a symbol than a statement, respected, but no longer leading. Still, there's something admirable about its refusal to chase trends. It's not trying to be a digital spaceship or a self-driving gadget. It's still a car that believes in craftsmanship, silence, and human touch. And maybe, in a world of screens and sensors, that's worth something. So should you buy the 2025 Lexus LS 500? If you want comfort, quality, and timeless refinement, yes. If you want modern innovation, performance, or excitement, probably not. The LS 500 is a beautiful car, built for a world that's changing faster than Lexus is changing. It's still a masterpiece of craftsmanship, but not a leader of innovation. And for many enthusiasts who grew up admiring the LS legacy, that realization feels less like disappointment and more like heartbreak. So that's the truth about the 2025 Lexus LS 500, a car that still defines craftsmanship, but no longer defines the future. Beautiful, reliable, and perfectly built, yet quietly fading into the background of the modern luxury scene. If you enjoy this honest look and want more deep, unbiased reviews like this, subscribe to AutoFix Secrets. Here, we go beyond the numbers to uncover the real stories behind every car, the design choices, the engineering logic, and the truth that most reviews don't tell you. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment with your thoughts on the LS, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next video. Because at AutoFix Secrets, it's never just about the car. It's about what it stands for.